Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in this episode of Sonar Fishing, we get to break in our brand new boat for 2023. This is the Phoenix 921 Elite. Just picked it up. We had the electronics rig by bassboatelectronics.com and just got most of it wrapped from Ride-Hide wraps. We still have a few more logos we got to put on here, like Z-Man. But for the most part, it's ready to go in the water. We've got the first Bassmaster Open at Lake Eufaula this next week. So we've got to put the first 2 hours at least onto our Mercury engine. So I'm going to bring you guys along the whole process of how to properly break in your Mercury outboard engine. Okay, so this is all stuff that is in your manual, but I've been doing it for so many years now that you know, I just want to make sure I share it with you guys in a video like this. And I've already done break-in videos in the past, but this is just kind of an update. So if you've already seen one of my break-in videos before, you don't need to watch this one because it's pretty much the same exact information. But breaking in your engine is obviously very important to make sure that it's operating correctly and that it operates correctly for a very long time. So just make sure that you take a lot of care, pay attention to what you're doing, and make sure you go through the proper procedure for the break-in. All right, so the very first thing that we need to do is make sure we've got the plug in the boat, the bilge, which we've already done. We've got the straps off. We're not making any stupid mistakes back here. And we've already checked the oil. We know that it's got great gear lube in the lower unit, so all the fluids are checked, and we also gassed up. So we are ready to hit the water, ready to crank this baby up for the very first time. Let's get it in the water. All right, so here we go. It's maiden voyage. Oh, started right away. All right, so one of the things that I want to mention is that you don't want to, you know, put it in gear right away once you start it up for the first time, and really you don't want to do that ever. You want to just kind of let it idle for, you know, 30, 45 seconds, but you also don't want to let it idle for long extended periods of time during the break-in process. So it's kind of a happy medium there. So let it idle for up to a minute. And then go ahead and put it in gear, park, and then we'll get back and we'll start the break-in process from there. All right, guys, so we're about to take off right now to start the break-in procedure. And so for these first 2 hours, which is all we're going to be putting on the engine today, because after the first 2 hours, you can run the next 8 pretty, you know, regular operation where you can go full throttle occasionally, and you know, you don't have to worry about the RPMs as much. But for the first 2 hours, it's really key to keep your RPM range varied every couple minutes and under 4,500 RPM. So that's also 3/4 throttle if you don't have an RPM, gauge. So what I like to do is I have my clock right here. So when I take off, it's going to be 3. At 3:02, I'm going to change my RPM and add another 500 RPM or subtract another 500 RPM once I get on plane. And so that's how I like to kind of keep track of my RPM range during this process. Is every 2 minutes I vary it, and I vary it usually about 500 RPM. You can do whatever you want, whatever sticks in your brain and helps you keep track of it. And then every 10 minutes, another thing that you want to do is go ahead and bring it up to full throttle. So trim it up, let her fly for no more than a minute, and then slowly bring it back. You don't want to, you know, just slam on the pedal and then when you're done going full throttle, you know, pull back really fast. Just, you know, slowly ease into it and out of it, and that'll help everything, you know, break in. Another pro tip that the manual actually doesn't tell you, that's also very important to remember, is that another thing that I like to do is trim the engine all the way down. So the actual engine trim on your throttle, trim it all the way down until it's perfectly seated, and also do the same thing with your jack plate. And what you're doing there is you're putting a load on this engine as you're breaking it in. And I run this way all throughout this first 2 hours. The only time that I trim the engine up is when I'm going full throttle, because I need to be able to trim it up to get full throttle RPM. But what's happening is that you're putting a load on the engine, and that's going to help you seat those piston rings, which is super, super important. But anyways, guys, I've got the radio on. We're going to be playing some AC/DC and Led Zeppelin, whatever comes on the radio, and we're going to enjoy this 2-hour ride breaking in this Mercury engine. If you guys have any questions at all, make sure you drop a comment below, and also make sure you like, share, subscribe, and also refer to your owner's manual for the engine procedure if you have any questions at all as far as that goes. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'm going to see you out on the water. Let's take off.